Welcome to Superhuman Customs, everybody. I'm your host, Stephen Human. This is the channel where we paint action figures, just have some fun. Today, we got a pretty cool one. This is the Anti-Monitor from Crisis on Infinite Earths. He's one of those characters that they've done a couple different versions like Collect and Connect, and he should be honestly like the size of me if he was in scale to regular figures, but he's big, he's cool. What we're gonna do is, it's gonna be pretty simple. We're gonna just metallicize him. We're gonna make him metallic, we're gonna make him look like metal. We're gonna add some textures in here with some wash and just really make him so that he looks like he's made out of metal so that he can destroy the DC universe. So without further ado, let's get moving. Now where we want to start out with the Anti-Monitor is with wash. So we're just using my standard game wash that I am honestly running out of. We want to darken up all the metal stuff here so that when we add the gunmetal gray and the silver, we can get some detail into these areas. Same thing here with his coils. I want wash inside of it, so when we paint these gold, it's got the right texture. So that's all I'm gonna do. You can put it everywhere if you want. Like I can put it up here. I don't know if I'm gonna go too crazy. I'm gonna put some in here in the eyes though, because I'm gonna like add some glow-in-the-dark paint and stuff. But you can do as much or as little as you want, but it's important here in these areas so that he can have the texture that we want him to have going forward. All right, he looks really dirty and dingy right now, but that's gonna change almost instantly as we go through with some gunmetal gray. This will be our base. Just as always when we do these metal textures, we do a nice dark gunmetal gray, and that gets everything popping. And then we go through with our silvers. So that's all I'm gonna do right now. Get this guy moving so that he no longer looks like he just, walked into a soot factory, but that he starts to look metal. And now we're gonna move on to our silver, our craft silver. This is a very liquidy silver. We'll just do a light dusting over the top. This will help to really start to heighten things. And then we'll move on to our real silver, which is our Vallejo silver. And that stuff's bright. With this, now I want to, make sure I'm not getting too much into the crevices because I want there to be contrast. What I'm going to do with the silver is I'm going to hit, so this is the really brighter silver, I'm just going to hit these outer lines so that we really get a good contrast between what's in the middle and what's on the outside. And that's going to give this guy a couple different tones, and he's going to look really cool. You don't have to do it this way. You can do it how I normally do it, where I just go over the top of everything. But I think that this will look better. Definitely more unique than what I've done in the past. Now the silver's looking pretty good. We're gonna move on to the gold. And this one I'm just gonna brush across like so. In order to keep those textures on the inside, I want these to look like gold coils. So we're gonna take that metallic around, move it around, get it so that it looks gold. That's all we want. Do it with all these pieces that were yellow and try and keep them so that they're not losing that really beautiful darkness on the inside. Now we're gonna do the same thing up here with these details. Same thing here with the face plate sort of deal. I don't know what that would be called. A chin plate, who knows? I'm just going through hitting these areas, and I'm trying to go nice and light with the gold so that so the details will remain. And somebody's printing something behind me. He's looking pretty metal, but we've got to get the blue on here now. Oops, I got it all over that gold. Well, I'm gonna have to repaint that gold anyway, so let's go ahead and just go for it. So now is the time for the blue so that we can start metallicing the rest of his body. And this hasn't taken a really long time. I mean, I've been working on it for probably an hour at this point, in and out. It's fun on a Saturday or a holiday just to be able to come in for a couple hours while the kids are doing their own thing and just create. It's something that I really enjoy. And since this, for now, is my chosen art form, this is what I'm going to work on. Now what I'm going to do is just some little bit of detail work here on the teeth. I put a little bit of white on this toothpick. I'm just going to kind of hit the edges so that it starts to stand out a little bit. Nice and simple. I'm also going to do some to the eyes here. I'll need to get a little bit more, but I want the eyes to have a little bit different feel to them than just straight up yellow. So I'm going to hit a little bit in here too. It'll take a couple of dips because you don't get a lot on a toothpick, but it'll look cooler. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a drop of glow-in-the-dark paint in here, and I'm going to do a little bit of gloss over all of it. But before I do that, he's got like lines in his mouth of like kind of like his eyes, like a shock. So I'm going to take a little bit of neon yellow, and I'm just going to hit some of these areas in here with this toothpick just to get it so that there's a little bit in there, kind of light, but that's what I'm doing with the toothpick because it's not going to be too pronounced. But you can make it as pronounced as you want, you know, to kind of like he's shouting energy or whatever. But the neon yellow is going to be nice and bright, and that's what I'm after. And here we have the Anti-Monitor. Very simple custom, but he definitely looks way cooler than he did just in the matte plastic. He's got all of the details, he's got the metallics, he looks like he's an interdimensional multiversal force, and that's what I was going for. Thank you guys for watching. This has been a fun one. I like doing these ones where we can just spruce a character up and make them so that they just stand out and look a little bit more like they should. You know, and in this case, he's armored, he's metallic, he looks awesome. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Stephen Human. Check out StephenHumanAuthor.com or Amazon for all of my books. I am a novelist. I write sci-fi thrillers. They are amazing, and I'll see you guys soon.